Are you looking for the best Sony full frame vlog lens? I'm going to talk to you about a lens that I've been using for 2 months for all of my run and gun videos. And that lens is the Sony 20mm f1.8. How good is this lens for vlogging? Let's talk about it next. This video is brought to you by gearfocus.com. More on them later in the video. All right, guys, I'm super excited to give you my full review of the Sony 20mm f1.8. I've been using this lens for about 2 months now, and I've been using it with my Sony a7C. First, I can tell you that this lens is very light, very compact. Now, it's not a G Master lens, it's a G lens, but it does a fantastic job with all my vlogging needs. It's light, it's compact, and it fits very nicely on the Sony a7C. Let's take a walk around this lens. First off, it's got an aperture ring. It can be either clicked or declicked. So I generally have this aperture ring set to A, but you can go all the way up to f22. It is a clickable aperture ring, or on the side here, it does have a button to declick it. So you can declick it, and now it's smooth. I'll go ahead, hold it up to the mic so you can hear how smooth. And now clickable. So if you're a video shooter like me and you don't want that clickable aperture in your audio, go ahead, turn clicking off, and now you got smooth aperture pulling. It also on this side of the lens has a focus hold button along with a manual and autofocus switch. So you can take this thing from autofocus to manual focus, just like that. Now this thing has a 67mm filter thread. The minimum focusing distance is 0.19 meters, or for the Americans out there, just a little bit over a half a foot. Now I love that this thing is a 67mm filter thread. Now that goes very nicely with a lot of the other lenses that I have. So I have the Sigma 16mm, which is an APS-C lens, 67mm filter thread. I also have the Zeiss 85mm f1.8 full frame. That is also a 67mm filter thread. So I love the 67mm filter thread. I feel like that's a great video size for any ND filter. It also has a rubber gasket around the back, so that allows for a little bit of weather sealing. Now what I can tell you is that this lens does a great job with vlogging. It's light, it's compact, it fits very nicely onto the Sony a7C, and it makes it a great full frame vlogging setup. Now the autofocus on this thing is really good, very fast, very reliable. You can trust that this lens is gonna keep you in focus while you're holding that camera out there. Now the other thing is too, is you combine your Sony a7C with this 20mm lens and potentially a Joby GorillaPod, or I have a little Manfrotto Pixie tripod, so I can hold that out. I don't have to extend my arm all the way out. I can keep it about nice, comfortable halfway, and I get a good field of view. Now, the construction of this lens is pretty nice. I do think it looks very nice on the Sony a7C. Now, I wouldn't use this lens for portraits. This is not a portrait lens. It's gonna really stretch out the face and make it look a little weird when you get up close. I wouldn't recommend it for portraits. So what are some of the practical uses of this lens other than vlogging? Well, you can throw this thing on a gimbal, so you can get a nice wide shot if you're a wedding videographer, which is kind of nice. If you're looking to do talking head videos, you can use this. If you want to get a little bit wider and you want to see more of the background scene, you can definitely use it for that. I do like that 24 and 35mm focal lengths for talking head videos, which is why right now I am shooting with the Sigma 24-70 f2.8, but I can tell you that this lens does a great job as well. And if you crop into APS-C mode, it turns it into a 30mm focal length, which gives you a great shot. Most of the Sony cameras can crop into the APS-C mode in 4K, and you're not gonna lose any resolution. Now the focus ring is very smooth and it's not stiff at all, so it's easy to pull focus. Recommend setting up that focus peaking if you're gonna do that, but you can do focus pulling if you need to. Hi there. You enjoying the video? Great. Hopefully you can do me a couple things. If you could hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell notification, I'd really appreciate it. Definitely helps out the channel. I'd like to thank my friends over at gearfocus.com for helping support this channel. Not sure what Gear Focus is? Man, you're missing out. If you're like me and you got gear acquisition syndrome, GAS, what do you do with that gear as you upgrade to the next stuff? Well, you can sell it on eBay, but they're gonna take a nice big chunk. Plus then on top of it, you're probably gonna use PayPal, and that's gonna take even a bigger chunk. And before you know it, 10% of your sale is gone. Or you can go with an up and coming website, GearFocus.com. They were started by a content creator for content creators. And all they take is 3.5% of the sale. So if you're looking to get rid of some of that old gear, look no further than GearFocus.com. You can check them out by checking out that first link down in the description below. Now, back to the video. What do you think of this lens? Is it a great vlogging lens? Go ahead, comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Sony 20mm f1.8. If you like this video, I'm sure you're gonna like the video on the screen now about another lens for the Sony E-mount system. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Ryan, out.